as they say on YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and I'm really excited today to talk about the pros and cons of living in Aptos, which is a very cute and quaint unincorporated area of Santa Cruz that has homes and properties and things to do both on the ocean as well as in the country, which makes it very diverse and unique. Before we move on, however, I would really love it if you would hit that like and subscribe button. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and we are well on our way, but we are not quite there. So every time somebody hits that like and subscribe button, it helps us reach that goal. And if you are considering buying or selling in the Santa Cruz area, I would love to be your realtor of choice. Feel free to fill out the form below or feel free to call me anytime. Otherwise, if you're looking to buy or sell outside of the Santa Cruz area, feel free to fill out the form below and I will connect you with another fantastic realtor in your area. First up for the pros and cons of living in Aptos is the cost of living. We talk about this in every pros and cons video that we do, and the pros and cons of the cost of living in Aptos are very apparent to me. The pros are that the median household income is higher than the national average, coming in at $133,000 annually. But the cons are that it is very expensive to live in Aptos. That said, though it is very expensive to live in Aptos, there is a diversity with regards to options of real estate. You can get a beachfront property, $10 million or more, but you could also get a property up Redwood Drive or Cathedral that could be under, say, $1 million, which is less than the median cost for housing right here in Santa Cruz. So there are diverse options when it comes to home purchases in the Aptos area. Another con, however, is that the cost of living overall in Aptos is elevated. It's higher than the national average for everything. So that's gas, that's groceries, that's housing, that's just your cost of living in the Aptos area. Another con with regards to the cost of living is that the rental costs are high. Right now, the median rental for a 2-bedroom house in the Aptos area is running at $3,700 a month. Let's move on to education. The pros and cons of education in Aptos. The pros are there is a variety of educational institutions in the Aptos area, from public schools to private schools. It also, because of the geographic location of Aptos, it lends itself if you wanted to attend a school in, say, Monterey. I know that they have some very reputable private schools in the Monterey area. As far as public schools go in the Aptos area, your options for elementary are Rio Del Mar Elementary School, and it's recognized for its strong academic performance with proficiency rates of 55% in math and 60% in reading. Another option for your public elementary school is Valencia Elementary, and Valencia offers a robust curriculum with 51% math and 60% reading proficiency. The junior high is Aptos Junior High if you're looking at attending a public school for your junior high aged students. And then the high school is Aptos High School for your public school options, and it provides a comprehensive high school experience with a rating of 3.81 out of 5 based on 234 reviews. If you would like to do additional information on public school ratings, visit rateschools.org for additional information. And as I always say, contact the administrators, contact the teachers, do your own research, visit the schools, and see what's going to be the best fit for your student. With regards to private school options, we have Twin Lakes Christian School, which offers a faith-based curriculum for grades K or kindergarten through 8th grade with an average acceptance rate of 90%. Also, there is a school called Orchard School, and Orchard School is known for its alternative educational approach, fostering a unique learning environment. Another pro about these schools in the Aptos area is there's a lot of community engagement and involvement. So the parents are involved, but then if there's ever any fundraisers or drives, then the whole community really seems to band together in the Aptos area when it comes to supporting the educational system in Aptos. Some cons regarding the education in the Aptos area is that there are some performance disparities. There's a noticeable performance gap between some of the public and charter schools and other public schools in Aptos, such as Mar Vista Elementary School, which has a lower proficiency rate than other public and charter schools in California. There are limited advanced programs. While some schools offer specialized programs, the availability of advanced or specialized courses may be limited compared to larger districts. That said, if we're talking about after high school education, we do have Cabrillo in the Aptos area, and that is the junior college for this region. And that school, Cabrillo, actually has a very great program, or has very great programs for specialized education. Also, if you want to go to a junior college and get your AA before you go and transfer to a university or UC system, then Cabrillo is a great place to start that part of your education. But Cabrillo is actually highly rated for a lot of their vocational programs, such as nursing and other specialized programs. So check out Cabrillo. It is a really good resource with regards to education, and it is located in Aptos. Another con about education in the Aptos area is the challenges of transportation. As I mentioned before, Santa Cruz County in general doesn't use school bus systems the way other areas that I've seen do, which is on a regular basis. You have your multiple school buses pick kids up and drop them off. Aptos does have some school bus transportation, but it is not as prominent or prevalent as other areas in the state that I've seen. Again, education is one of those things that's very specific to each individual, so please remember to do your own research. Check out greatschools.org, talk to the administrators at the schools, talk to the teachers and the other parents and the students, and see what school is going to be the best fit for your kid. And if you need to do an interdistrict transfer, I will leave that in your capable hands. Let's talk about the pros and the cons of job opportunities in Aptos. Okay, Aptos is South County as far as Santa Cruz geography goes. So it is farther away from accessibility if you were to be working in the Silicon Valley area, which means that you are going to have a more treacherous commute, a longer commute, both going to and from work if you have to commute over Highway 17. So let's talk about the pros. There is low unemployment rate in Aptos. Aptos boasts an employment rate significantly lower than the national averages. The unemployment rate in Santa Cruz County was 5.7% compared to the national average of 4.4% during the same period. There is diverse job opportunities. The region offers a wide array of job openings across various industries, including entry-level positions to specialized positions. Again, Aptos is in South County. There's a lot of entrepreneurialism. There's small businesses over there. There is retail over there. There is restaurants, hotels, things of that nature. So if you are in the service industry, that would be one of the industries that you could work in. But there's also medical, dental, etc. So there is some diversity as far as employment opportunities in the Aptos area. Another pro is that residents of the Aptos area enjoy a median household income that is approximately 103%. Let me repeat that. 103% higher than the national average, meaning that the Aptos area, or the Aptos community, tends to be a more affluent community than other parts of the nation. Some cons with regards to jobs in the Aptos area is that there are limited high-paying jobs. So again, if you are having to commute over to Silicon Valley for one of these higher-paying tech jobs, you will have to sit in traffic both to and from, because you're going to have to hit Highway 1 for an extended period of time, since Aptos is one of the southernmost areas of Santa Cruz County, and you're going to have to hit the traffic on Highway 1 going northbound and southbound on your way home. So if you want to try and avoid the traffic, you're going to have to get up very early, and you're going to have to come home very late. So another con about jobs in the Aptos area is that there is not a ton of high-paying jobs, and so you're going to be dealing with traffic and the commute. But before we talk about the pros and cons of crime in the Aptos area, it's time for a quick commercial break. Here we go. If you have been enjoying what you're watching and you want to continue watching this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. And so every subscription helps us meet our goals. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Santa Cruz area, please reach out to me. I would love to be your realtor of choice. And if you're looking to buy or sell outside of the Santa Cruz area, fill out the form below so that we can set up a consultation and I can connect you with another phenomenal realtor that can help you in the area that you live. Let's talk about crime, the pros and cons of crime in the Aptos area. Aptos, to me, generally speaking, feels like a really safe place. So that would be a pro. You don't hear a lot on the news about violent crimes or criminal activity in the Aptos area. Every once in a while, you'll hear a story. Many years ago, I remember that one of the banks, it was Coastal Community Bank. It was right down the street from where Danny was living at the time, but Coastal Community Bank was held up by gunpoint and robbed. And luckily nobody was hurt, but I do remember that being like a big headline as far as crime in Aptos because it's just very unusual to hear stories like that. The pros of crime in Aptos: lower violent crime rate. The residents of Aptos have a 1 in 513 chance of becoming victims of violent crime, which is lower than both the state and national averages. That's great. And then moderate property crime rate. The property crime rate in Aptos is 7 per 1,000 residents, aligning with national averages and suggesting a balanced safety environment. Perceptions of Aptos with regards to safety, and like I just said, people perceive Aptos as being a really safe community. You don't hear a lot of headlines about violence in Aptos, though it does occur from time to time. And if you are considering moving to Aptos, obviously do your due diligence, find out a bit more about the crime ratings so that you can decide if it is a community that you feel comfortable living in. The cons of crime in Aptos are that there's slightly elevated property crime. While property crime rates are moderate, they are slightly higher than the national average, which could be attributed to the town's proximity to larger cities and tourist attractions, potentially making it a target for theft and burglary. The perception of law enforcement response in Aptos: some residents have noted that while the police are visible, their response times can be slower when incidents occur, meaning that if you call 911, they might not get there right away. So that can be a problem. Just saying. Moving on to the pros and cons of traffic in Aptos. We've talked about this already a bit, but okay, the pros and cons about the traffic in Aptos. The pros are if you live in Aptos and you don't have to go anywhere, that's awesome. Or you can move around when there's no traffic. That's great. If you're just driving around Aptos, if you're going from your house to the grocery store or from your house to the beach, chances are there won't be a tremendous amount of traffic. So that's the pro. Another pro is if you're driving along the coast, you have beautiful vistas, you have beautiful scenery. It's absolutely stunning over there. So if you're stuck in traffic and you're along the coast, it's kind of a nice place to be stuck, in my opinion. Another pro is you can catch up with your friends on the phone or your family on the phone, or you can listen to a book or a podcast while you're driving. So if you do happen to be stuck in traffic, utilize your time wisely. Enjoy your time in your car. Another pro, though, about traffic in Aptos is that there are tools like Cruz 511 where you can check the traffic so you can decide, hey, this is a good time for me to be leaving my house and going somewhere or not, if you have that luxury, if you're not commuting somewhere specifically for work. Another pro is that there is I would say this is a pro and con. There's ongoing infrastructure improvements. Obviously, improvements in infrastructure is going to be a pro, but during the time of construction when they are making these improvements, and it seems like they are making these improvements pretty regularly, meaning that they are causing more congestion because there is construction happening on the roadways. Cons of living in the Aptos area are that there is a tremendous amount of traffic. Again, Aptos is South County. So if you are commuting for work over the hill into the Silicon Valley area, you're going to have to deal with Highway 1 traffic going back and forth. Recently, there's been a ton of road improvements on Highway 1, which means that there's even more congestion. That said, they are supposed to be finishing up the road work, and the road work is inclusive of highway widening to extend further down south. So hopefully the highway widening will help alleviate some of this traffic in the future. Another con about traffic in the Aptos area is that there's limited public transportation. Now, we've talked about this before. We do have a Santa Cruz County bus system, but we don't have a really reliable train system or BART like they have over the hill, or any sort of efficient public transportation system. So if you are looking to live in Aptos, check out the traffic situation, know where you have to be, understand the traffic patterns, and understand that you're probably going to have to pad your commute time by quite a significant bit if you are traveling northbound. If you're traveling southbound and heading towards Monterey, you'll probably have a bit more flexibility with regards to commute time. Pros and cons about the weather. Okay, I like the fog. Aptos tends to get foggier. So the pros and cons about the weather can be scrutinized depending on your personal preference. So the pros of the weather, you are going to enjoy a diverse climate, because remember I said that there are coastal properties in Rio Del Mar and in Sea Cliff, and there are country properties in the Aptos country area, such as Pleasant Valley, and those areas tend to have a bit more of a microclimate, more Mediterranean. It stays warmer. You have less fog, but you are removed from the beach and you have to travel a little bit more to get into the freeway or into town. So there is some diversity with regards to the weather, which is kind of cool though, because if you decide you want to live in Aptos, you can live closer to the beach and you can enjoy some coastal fog, or you can move a little bit more country and you can enjoy a more Mediterranean, warmer climate. The cons are basically the same thing. If you don't like the fog, I don't know that Aptos is going to be the right place for you, because we get a lot of coastal fog. And if you don't want to live in the country, but you want the heat, then I don't know that Aptos would be the right fit for you personally. But again, you do have a diverse choice when it comes to properties in Aptos, because they have coastal properties and they have country properties. Let's talk about the pros and cons with regards to the geography of Aptos. Okay, the geography of Aptos is quite unique actually. So I've said this a couple times already, but it's cool because you can be in Aptos and you can be at the ocean. You go to Sea Cliff State Beach, you go to Rio Del Mar, you're at the ocean in Aptos, and then you cross the freeway and you head up and you can be up in the hills. You can go hiking in Nicene Marks. You can go to Aptos country. There's wineries. The geography is very diverse, which gives you a lot to choose from and a lot of diversity, a lot of options. There's also a rich biodiversity. The area features diverse ecosystems, including redwood forest and wetlands, supporting a variety of wildlife and plant species, which that is very interesting and cool with regards to living in Aptos and the geography of it. Some of the cons with regards to the geography of living in Aptos are there's limited flat land, there's a lot of hilly terrain, and this can restrict the availability of flat, usable land for large-scale developments, potentially limiting housing options and urban expansions. So I mentioned that there's Rio Del Mar, there's Sea Cliff, those are the coastal areas of Aptos, and then there's Pleasant Valley, there is up Cathedral, up Redwood, up Bonito. Those are more hilly. The cool thing about it though is you can be up on the hill and you can be a bit removed from the ocean and you can have a vast ocean view, which is spectacular. I sold a house last year that was in Pleasant Valley, and you get up to the top of this hill and it's this little microclimate. It's warm enough to have a swimming pool, and then there's a massive 360-degree view. Well, I guess it's a 180-degree view of ocean in the front, and then you go to the back of the property and there's a 180-degree view of trees, and it's just so stunning that this can all be on one property. So I love that about Aptos, and that property in particular was pretty special. Another con is flooding risk. So we're going to have to deal with landslide erosion because we have hillsides, and then also in the beach flats of Aptos, we have experienced for the last few years when we've had these atmospheric river type storms, we have experienced a lot of flooding, a lot of property damage as a result to flooding in the beach flat area in particular. Okay. Pros and cons of entertainment in Aptos. The pros are that there are some options. There's some bars, there's restaurants that have live music. There is some diversity with regards to bars and restaurants. The Aptos Village is a great place to experience dining, coffee shops, shopping, bars, wine tasting, things like that. And then the Aptos Village Park has hosted the Jazz Festival for many years, and that's a fun place to go and enjoy live music. They have different events down there, so that's really cool with regards to entertainment. Aptos has the world's shortest parade, and it's on 4th of July every year, and it is from State Park to the Aptos Village, this little street, but it's so fun. Everybody gets very festive, and it's really cool. We participated in it one year when Elia was going to Junebug's gym for gymnastics, and she was wearing this cute little ladybug costume, and she was just so happy to be there. But it's a really fun community event. Pros of entertainment in Aptos are there is some entertainment in Aptos. There's just not a lot. So the cons of entertainment in Aptos is there's not a lot of entertainment. I think Santa Cruz in general doesn't have a great nightlife. So you really have to rely on going over the hill to San Jose, Santa Clara, to San Francisco, or even Monterey. But Santa Cruz and Aptos also doesn't have a tremendous nightlife. But there is stuff going on. There are things to do. There are things to explore. But the cons would just be that there's not a lot of options when it comes to entertainment. Pros and cons of lifestyle in Aptos. The pro is just, it's absolutely beautiful. The weather is great. You can be outside all the time. You can bike, you can hike, you can run, you can play sports, you can go to the beach, you can go surfing. There's hiking trails. You can just enjoy gardening in your yard. The people there are really friendly and nice. The community is great. So the lifestyle just feels really fulfilling. It feels like a very healthy place to live and enjoy what the natural beauty around Aptos has to offer. The cons with regards to lifestyle in Aptos are the cost of living is high. There are limited amenities. So if you need medical services like a hospital, you'd have to go to either Dominican Hospital or Watsonville Hospital. And if you need like really serious services, then you'd have to go over the hill to like Santa Clara or Sanford. So there's limited amenities, including limited medical amenities in the Aptos area. The population size and growth. Aptos has a small population which has seen a steady decline over the past 5 years, potentially affecting the community dynamics and diversity of the local community. And then another con with regards to lifestyle is that there's limited employment. So you might not be able to fund your lifestyle the way that you're accustomed to if you are relying on a job specifically in the Aptos area. And finally, unique features, pros and cons of living in Aptos. Aptos boasts several unique features that contribute to its distinctive character and appeal, making it a unique and diverse place to live. Some pros of the area with regards to its unique features is the Seacliff State Beach and the SS Palo Alto, which is the cement ship on the Seacliff State Beach, which is almost no longer there. The last time I went out to the Seacliff State Beach was after a storm, and it is just barely there. But I would say that a unique feature is the history of the USS Palo Alto. It used to be a restaurant, bar, casino where people would go and they would hang out, they would have drinks, they would have food, they would dance, they would gamble, and they would enjoy their time on this ship that was docked in the ocean. I would have loved to experience that, but that's no longer an option. But I would suggest if you have never been to Seacliff State Beach, go down there, check it out, because the remnants of the USS Palo Alto will not last very much longer. Another unique feature that's a pro is that it has the beautiful forest of Nicene State Park, and there's multiple trails. There is easy trails like the fire road that'll take you up to the top. There's single track trails. There are biking friendly trails. It's a really, really beautiful place to hike, run, bike, etc. And also the Aptos Village. It's such a sweet community hub. It is becoming more and more robust with restaurants, with shopping. New Leaf just went in there. They are continuing to develop it. They have their next phase of the Aptos Village housing that will be available, or it's actually coming on this spring. I just saw 2 new units pop up for sale in there. And then it also has I mentioned this before, but the annual World's Shortest Parade for the 4th of July, which I think is just the cutest parade ever. And then it also has a rich history, cultural heritage. Originally inhabited by the Ohlone people, Aptos later became a site for Spanish missions and Mexican land grants. The town's history is evident in structures like the original general store building, which still stands today. And then cons of unique feature: if you don't like the outdoors and you want to go to a shopping mall, or you need a medical facility that is right in your backyard, or you just hate the fog and you don't want to go wine tasting, then I don't think Aptos is for you. But if you like all or some or one of those things, then I would totally consider Aptos as a really great option with regards to a place to live. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you are considering selling or buying in the Santa Cruz area, I would love to be your realtor of choice, so please feel free to call me or fill out the form below and I can get back in touch with you. If you are considering buying or selling outside of the Santa Cruz area, fill out the form below and I will contact you so that I can learn a bit more about your real estate goals and connect you with the right realtor to help you down your real estate journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed this video, found any value in it, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025 and we are on our way, but we are not yet there. Until next time, I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and I look forward to connecting with you.